1915, the cinematographer Cecil B. DeMille, who, yes, I share a birthday with, 1915, he was doing The Warrens of Virginia, and his business partner, upon reviewing the film, had seen that half of the characters' faces were in shadow, and his business partner said, Cecil, people aren't gonna pay full price for this. You can't see the full face. Like, they're gonna demand half price. And when Cecil B. DeMille said, well, it's Rembrandt lighting, then his business partner said, oh, well, for Rembrandt lighting, they should pay double. And that's kind of how Rembrandt lighting became an early thing.
Everybody always says Rembrandt, 17th century Dutch painter, master of light. And we wanted to ask, how? How was he a master of light?
The curators have played around with the idea that Rembrandt could have been a filmmaker rather than a painter if he was alive today, because of his fascination with light.
Rembrandt tells this story in different phases through a different approach to light. The bright light in the centre, the firelight in the bottom right, and then the shadowy silhouettes of the figures in the top right-hand corner. He takes us on a journey of different moods. He is able in one painting to do what a filmmaker would take 2.5 hours to describe.
Rembrandt was born in the Dutch Republic, or as it's now known as the Netherlands, is one of the most famous, if not the most famous, Dutch artists ever. Some of his most prolific work includes The Night Watch, The Jewish Bride, A Polish Nobleman. But this brings up the single most important contribution Rembrandt made to the photography community, which is how he painted his subjects. His use of strong contrasting light and shadow-filled portraits stood out amongst the rest of the painters from this era. The identifying factor of a Rembrandt portrait is simple. The nose bridges the gap between light and dark, casting shadow on the far side of the subject's face. This structure of light and tone portrays moody lighting at its finest, but in turn led the way for how to light your subjects for portrait photography. His ability to convey emotion and mood was what made his work stand out from the others.
Every frame of Rembrandt was something that I heard when I first started working as a cinematographer on my very first movie at the age of 22. It was a mixture of fun and reference at the same time, because the name Rembrandt became a yardstick for cinematographers. Rembrandt was a painter that everybody had heard of, even if they weren't really interested in painting.
So in the end, it was ordinary people, depicted in a unique, sophisticated light, that made Rembrandt a visionary in the 17th century.